Good afternoon, viewers and all the participants. Welcome to our edition of FTNI today. Our today's topic is spirituality, whether it is social or individual. We have two contestants today, Soumya Tripathi from UP and Nagesh Kavani from Karnataka. So it is going to be like a single round event only because we only have two contestants. There will not be any second round. And we all people will be asking questions to the two contestants. And I expect both the contestants to give their best and good replies to all the questions. And today, even the audience have some freedom, to ask deeper questions on the audience. So let me start with the question. And this question is to both of the contestants, and you both will have to reply to it. So the question is very simple. What is your understanding of spirituality, and what do you think about it, whether it is social or individual or whatever? Yes, who would like to start?
Yes, I would like to start.
Okay, Nagesh.
Okay, team. Good afternoon. This is Nagesh from Karnataka. So, whatever the student has raised the question related to the spirituality about individual or social. Okay. I would like to, as per my point of view, spirituality, I would like to define in this way. It is a process of integration of all the knowledge towards the development of the humankind. And the spirituality, there is no border for the spirituality, so it can be extended whatever it can be extended till it is a process. This is the one thing. And second is, I would like to classify the spirituality into two category. The first category is a religious based spirituality, second is a social based spirituality. So when it comes to religious based spirituality, so since the civilization has came to exist on the planet, the spirituality also has started. So when the civilization started, it's directly connected to the one of the other religions based on this model has started. So each and every individual, the part is very important to development of spirituality, because of course the spirituality is always is good for the social, and it is for the social, and for it's the starting of the spirit, where it start from. It always start from the individual. Let's take an example of the spirituality when it comes to the Hindu religion. So we know that Rigveda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharvaveda, Upanishad, Ramayana, Mahabharata, there are the many the script they have talk about the spirituality, but who has written it? There is an individual person who has the spirit, who has that concern about the society. He always play an important role to development of these all the things, and it's the individual role play a very vital role to development of the spirituality. And second is a social spirituality. What is a social spirituality? As we know that, because the religious is the base, and second social spirituality, there is a education and health and other social welfare development. When it comes to the education, there are the many people they have spent their entire life for the development of the education. There are the many people they have spent their entire life for the development of the education. There are the many people they have spent their entire life for the development of the environment. Let's take an example of Chipko movement. The Sundarlal Bahun, he has played a significant role in development of the spirituality. And when it comes to the Sundarlal Bahun case, this environment, it is related to as well religious as well as the social. Because how it related to the religious? Because religious is existed on the planet. To exist a religious, it's a the people or the person or a family or a community or a religious or a nation. It is combined together. This is the strength. The spirituality is the strength for the nation. This is how I would like to explain. Yes.
Okay, Soumya, go ahead.
So I would like by starting with a few of my research that was the term spirit, which means animating a vital principle in man or in animals and living beings. And so spiritual means something which is concerning to spirit. Now, since spirituality is something which we have an understanding of, it is an essential part of any living beings, hence it is not possible to construct it under any limitations or to put it into certain categories. So let's talk about human race. So for some people, it is their entire existence. For some, it is how they are living their life. For some, it is the concept which enable our society to function in a particular way. Now moving on to what does society means. So society is basically the aggregate of people which are living together in more or less some structured community or way. So every and we as we know that within a society each individual is there. Now, each individual have their free will, and if every individual exercise their free will ceaselessly, then that becomes little chaotic for even 10 people to live together if there is no structure to it and everyone wants to exercise their free will. So here what a society plays a very important role. So basically society is formed. So now as well, once we've understood that what is society, what are individuals, let's now move on to why society. So basically society is formed for the well-being of individuals living in it, and being social is basically how we interact in the society. Stating the relation between the society and spirituality, I would like to say that if there is any purpose to life, then it could be said as a growth of individuals or society, because individuals, it's not just one individual. So life does not function for any particular individual, it functions for the entire living being, I would rather say. Not even a particular race or particular living being even. So it's for all. So now let's move on to what is the basic concept of individuality, as we've discussed in the entire conversation that all. So the basic concept of individuality is everything is one, and one is everything. So you cannot separate, like you cannot put distinctions between things and people around you. So hence stating that there is no individual existence. Going in depth in the meaning of spirituality is basically enables an individual to transcend their physical nature and instincts. And for a society to go beyond what it is existing now, change is required, and change can be enabled only if we collectively move towards the growth and betterment. Yes, as Nagesh pointed out, there are people who individually write things, who which society follows, and then for the betterment of the society. But why did they wrote it if it was individual, right? Because it is not individual. You cannot entire human, if you want entire human race to progress, it cannot be on a single person to person basis. So earlier it was stated that the purpose of life is that living being living in it should evolve. And how does so, since every living being's purpose is that entire race progresses, so that can be done only we collectively move towards it. And hence through hence I state that spirituality is social and not individual. So that's my point. Thank you.
Yeah, very well said. Both of the contestants have raised the bar, and I'm very glad that with such a good opening. And if the contest audience is ready to ask the questions, raise your hand. Otherwise, I do have so many questions to ask. Anybody wants to ask, or you can still take your time. I will ask the question. So, as both of the contestants have talked about, spirituality is something related to the life, and it is not about just about the individual. It is about the entire humankind, and not just even in humankind. It is about all the living beings on the earth, and we can see that this is something what all the religions, the religious leaders would talk about as well. Then where lies the difference? What is the difference between religion and spirituality? Yes.
Uh,
Yes,
yeah,
Sumit.
first.
Go ahead.
So, uh, so as an audience, as I've already talked about in my conversation, that spirituality cannot be put into categories. All religions teach that God is one, or they talk about God, and okay, that's a different conversation. But it's basically they teach the betterment of the society. Anything which improves the society. So maybe I could say that there was an individual who got enlightened, was able to explore their spiritual nature, and then they came up with some values. Okay, you can follow these things, and you can also access, or you can also explore your spiritual nature. So spirituality is your existence, entire existence of each and every living being on this earth. Religion is something which we have imbibed, which help us in constructing a social structure, but spirituality is the existence. So it is what we like when we are like when we take birth, we come with. So as we talk, it's a going transcending your physical nature. So here we talk about something which is beyond your physical nature. Religion can be a method to explore all those things. So that is what I think, that religion is the method to explore your spirituality. It can be a method. It is not necessarily your method, but it can be your method. And spirituality is what is to be accessed. You can take the help of religion, or you don't. So that is my take on the difference.
Nagesh, go ahead.
Sir,
What is
can you please sorry question once again?
what is the difference between religion and spirituality?
Okay, well, okay, thanks for asking this question. So, difference between religious and spirituality. So, we have to look into the two perspectives. Where religious, it always taught us in a such a way that in terms of development of, first of all, development of the religious, and second, development of the humankind, and in terms of what he has to follow in their in his life, in terms of I can say in kind of the principles he has to follow the particular religion, and this is a kind of this is a religious part. And when it comes to spirituality, I have, as already I have made a point on this, there is no border for the spirituality. It can be extended anywhere and all the dimensions, and it is existed in all over the planet, all the human beings and all the living things. It is existed. But the main thing is it has to go by coordination, because we are living in a such a planet, because here it has to be take a coordination between the spirituality and as well as the religious. So let's I'll give you an example. Let's say just take an example of Swami Vivekananda. He has taught about the religious. He has taught about the education. He has taught about the health also. Because if this person is just if we consider religious as a separate, then we cannot see the religious like saints and monks, those who have spent their entire life for the humanity. We should not. We have to look with all the people how they have led their entire life in all the dimensions, because these people have made it clear that the spirituality is really important to balance both the religious as well as the spirituality. It has to go simultaneously hand in hand.
Yeah, very well said. So we have lost connection with Soumya for a while. She will rejoin, but we will continue with Nagesh. So audience, if you want to ask questions from Nagesh, yes, Kavya, please unmute yourself, Kavya.
Very good afternoon, all. I have an assertion like the religion, which is a thing which leads to spirituality in ultimate, and the main motive of religion is to enhance spirituality and bring society in a good way. But we see a lot of things happening in the world, like uh, violence and terrorism and extremisms happening in the name of religion. And what is the real psychology behind this?
So can you please? I'm not able to hear. So can you please? Sir, you are mute. Sir, you are mute.
Yeah, Kavya, please ask a very specific question. You have elaborated upon it. Make it short.
If religion is going to be an enhancer for spirituality in the society, why extremisms and terrorisms are taking place in the name of religion? What is the psychology behind that?
See, yeah, thanks for asking this question, Kavya. So I would like to take you into the ancient level. So when we study, go back to the history, how the history has came from the rise of Abraham to the later Crusade War and the Dark Age, and later the rise of the development of the capitalist, and then it is the modernizing. We have to see the like the pre-modernizing society and post-modernizing society. So right now we are living in a post-modernizing society. Just 2 minutes we keep this aside. Let's go back to the 1947 or back to the Dark Age, and how the things actually was used to live. Because why the religious is? Because still today the fight for Holy Land is still today is existed, because we are what we are seeing today for the Israel, what the things is happening. Because just there is the involvement of politics as well as the religious. So it has to be separate. The thing is that what has happened, because the entire global is running based on uh,
the concept of the politics. Because what is the main concept of the politics? Because there is a concept of main politics is something different. So what people are really practicing politics is something totally different. Because everyone wants to be a top. They don't know what they are going to do, because everyone want to be top. Because they want to become a top, they are ready to do anything. And this is the first thing. And second thing is that after this is why it is what is psychology? This psychology is human egoness, I can say, like a kind of the human egoness. Because let's take an example. We have 206 countries approximately. Out of 206 countries, only there are the 10 countries are developed countries. Why these only 10 countries are developed countries? Why they don't have the power? Because everyone are human. Everyone have a right to get all the basic necessary what they want. Okay, and because we are a developing country, still are not able to develop it because there is a political game. Let's take an example of 1909. There is a Morley Minto reform. He has done the divide and rule. Why he has made a divide and rule? He has cultivated a seed in such a way that it has to bear in a people mind. These people should not be cooperate. And let's take an example of the American model. Why they are so much of the cooperative model, and why Western people are so much of cooperative model. Let's take in Denmark. Denmark is almost a smaller size than the Karnataka state, and they have the well model. They are a role model for this modernizing the agriculture. The same, the cooperation is not there existed in the India. Let's take an example, APMC rules. There are many policies the Indian government has made, but still we are not cooperating with this. Still, most of the people, they don't know what is the idea of this APMC rule, because the people are taking in their granted, all the things people are taking in a granted. This is a lack of education to the common people. The common people are not coming front and they are asking the questions, and the people blindly believing what the followers are saying. So let's take you just this week only what happened. The Cristiano Ronaldo, he has just removed the 2 Coke, and what is the impact on the society? This is the people. Now people are getting educated, but it has to go in the down very ground level. This is not reaching it. Just today we are seeing this is all over the India. We are just connecting in just one platform here. We don't know because in 3 months back we don't know because we don't have any idea about this, because today we are connecting with each other because the development of technology. This how the development of technology is going. It is under the control of someone else. When there is a dominance over the certain things, the people is always to be on the top. So when these people do the politics like internal politics, religious politics, geopolitics, unless this is a kind of, I can define in such a way that this is a kind of feudalism modernizing society. Let's because I believe in this way, because we saw the feudalism. What is the concept of feudalism? Keep the peasant in a poor only, always poor. We should not allow him to go, because we have in such a country. Because do you think that India don't have capability to beat the America? Do you think India don't have capability to beat the Western countries? Do you think India don't have capability to win the all Olympics medals? You can't believe only the Haryana and Kerala, only 2 states are more than enough to clinch all the gold medals in the Olympics. Why these things are happening? When these people are going to there is a drugs mafia going on. These people adopt the drugs, and these people will follow this career. Who is going to make these people talk about the transparent? Where is the transparent? We just talk about nuclear weapons. Talk about take an example of nuclear weapons. Where when it comes to nuclear weapons, America is
Nagesh, yes. We'll take it one by one. Yes. So now it is Somya's turn. Somya, Kavya has asked a question. She said that spirituality is found to be at the base of every religion, but still means what is the reason? Why do we see so much violence in society, and especially in the name of religion as well? So where lies the problem? This is the question.
Thank you, Kavya. Thank you, sir, for the question. So, see, as we've already discussed, that religion paves the way to reach towards your spirituality. Uh, and spirituality is indeed social, because no society or no collective human race or no particular group progresses until and unless each member of their group progress. So, but yeah, there is something that when we talk about, when we now here we are mixing religion with spirituality. Let me just point it out here that we are mixing here spirituality and individualism, and we've already stated out that they are kind of a different concept. So now, talking about only religion and not spirituality. Religion is what I think we would agree that it is what we as a collective individual have understood from our spiritual leaders or people who have written down some spiritual books, and that's our understanding. So basically, religion is what is your understanding of the spiritual leader or the spiritual books. Since it is an individual's understanding of all those things, hence it differs. Hence, there is certain limitations to that, and spirituality helps you transcending those limitations, right? So, if you ask me why are there so many constrictions, because everyone has come up with their own version of their own religion and what spiritual leaders have said and what your books are saying. So it's basically how you are interpreting your perspective of things going forward. Because in a society we have different kind of people, right? Every person, if we say that we want the well-being of an individual, everyone is not that evolved. We are working towards it, but yeah, when we are saying that there is some people who are interpreting, you're talking about why such discrepancies, because each individual is interpreting their wellness, well-being in a different manner. Some people believe that collecting a lot of gains with themselves, wealth that can benefit them. Now, since collecting a lot of gains and can benefit them, they're not understanding that it's just not an individual thing. It's about the entire society. If you're collecting gains and there is someone else who's getting harmed by what you're doing. Now, some people utilize these ideologies for their own benefit in terms of politics also, right? Stating out their version of what they think about their this religion and what does this religion teaches. So basically, you are listening to those people, not you, but a mass as a whole. They are listening to their version of the interpretation and not actually realizing that what actually was the thing when it started. So I believe that the root cause of all these differences in the society and all these conflicts in the society is basically relying on wrong people to interpret what the spiritual leaders, the enlightened being, or your books, spiritual books, which have so much knowledge, are telling you. So it's basically, I think, for this to overcome this, each individual needs, and if government seeks out to make progress in the society, I think that each individual must be asked to look within themselves. I would not say that don't look outside and listen to people, what some leaders are telling. Yes, do listen, but also it's very important to sit back and think and go back and see what the actually books are there. It's very important to validate what you're hearing or listening, because there are so many people. They're telling different versions of what their understanding is. And not every individual's understanding will be the right, because not everyone is that evolved. That is my answer.
So, for our viewers, again, let me give you the brief description of what all we have discussed. See, spirituality is definitely an individual thing. It starts with individual. It is about the upliftment, you go inside, you evaluate yourself, all those things. But at the same time, the objective is actually social. After getting all that right knowledge, by looking at yourself, the intention is to transmit that knowledge in the society and to create a better society. So we have both the contestants have already reached to that level. We have reached to another level, the difference between religion and spirituality as well. Both the contestants have provided very beautiful answers to this question as well, why we people are fighting in the name of religion when spirituality talks about unity. But religion, because of the following thing, because the followers have to keep the tradition alive, so they become rigid while trying to keep that tradition alive. So that rigidity is the cause of the conflict between the different followers of different religions. So again, next question is, if spirituality is such a good thing, if it is about the upliftment of the people, then why should it not be part of the education system? Should it or should it not be? Yes. What is your take on this, both the contestants?
Yeah, sir. This I strongly agree with your point because spirituality is required. It has to take into the education because of some barriers which are making to enter into the education system. As everyone know that what are the barriers, because some countries already adopted the spirituality as their education model and they are growing, and there are some countries they are not adopting because of the barriers is called as the communal barriers, and one thing is communal barriers, and second thing is the politics, and third is the lack of education to the uh, member of parliament, I can say. These people, the lack of education, these people are not capable to handle the countries in the right way. And still, because being a democratic country, this is almost because we can divide these countries in different ways. Because when we talk about North America, South America, already well know that North America is well developed and adopted the very quality education system. They are leading it, and Western, the European countries, they have also adopted and they are growing up. When it comes to the African countries, which has the biggest countries, still it is lacking behind because they have still not in a such a way that the upliftment of their own benefits like education, health, and the living standard. And this is the things where they are doing the internal politics and geopolitics, and what they're playing the game. Even the digital politics also came into existence in this 21st century. If it's going to after lockdown, this is the digital politics also they enter into this game. And like, again, we have to consider this digital politics as well, because the entire global, the people, those are using the Facebook, those are using the WhatsApp, they are getting motivating by the wrong speculations. The speculations are making the misleading the young generation and the children. Even we can see this TikTok and the many of this social media. Person is not capable to stand on his own leg, and he's talking the some biggest things like he's talking about the global level. This is how the people are getting the wrong information, and they are becoming the heroes in this in organized civilization. It has to stop. The right education has to reach to the each and every people, and then these things can be possible. But at the same time, this politics as well as the religious, it has to get separate, and this both the things also goes. Both the things also has to move on simultaneously, hand in hand. Then only things can be possible.
Yes, Soumya, go ahead.
Yeah, I would totally agree with this statement that spirituality should be inculcated from the starting, because it forms a very basic of your whole personality. It's basically your whole existence. But yeah, like as you grow older, then you start understanding, okay, what is the purpose of life and all those type of questions. But spirituality has a deeper meaning to it. It is basically how you live your whole life. So it's your the best possible way to live your life. It can teach you. You can it cannot teach you. It does not teaches you anything, but rather it can help you explore that what is the best way of leading a life, or how can you reach your maximum potential. I think that should be made a part of the curriculum. But yeah, like in a country like India, where there are so many religions, respecting each religion is also very important. And hence we must figure out certain methods which are respectful to all the religions, but at the same time is helping the individuals as a whole. Some of the tools I could say is meditation. I think is common to all the respective religions. It is very religion. It does not come under that category. Then apart from that, so spirituality to inculcate or to grow one's own spirituality, I think physical well-being is also very important, which is already a base of uh, different curriculums in different schools. But yeah, people should be made to realize that that physical training and physical classes are very important to an individual's or to a child's growth, apart from their mental and spiritual capabilities. So spirituality actually it can be explored through an individual way. So I think meditation can be a really effective tool, which, although respecting all religions, can help a person or an individual or a child to explore their selves and can help them grow. Yeah, that's
Okay, so by this discussion, we have come to a point of understanding that spirituality is something about unifying people, irrespective of their differences in terms of religion, race, caste, etc., whatever. Uh, I think this is going in parallel with the philosophy of another value that is called as secularism. While secularism is so much highlighted in our society, you find so much space devoted to that everywhere. Spirituality is generally not at all talked about. And so this is my question, that what if we provide this education to each and every student in our schools, if they are taught the basic ideas about of secularism and spirituality, then what difference is it is going to make towards society, towards the life of the people, towards the nation? I want your take on that. And but after this, I'll send you the new link. Okay, just wait for the new link and rejoin again. Okay, so who is going to answer the question? Soumya or Nagesh?
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll go.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
if we adapt the spirituality into the education system, the religious spirituality education system, so we can see a big difference in the society as well as the family, as well as the nation, as well as the state. There are two things can be, because already we have the primary level education, that whatever we are feeding to the child brain, that will be going into a big thing in the society. Because we they generation, there is a big disparity between based on the communalism. Even in India, based on the language, even in India, based on the caste of the people, we have the disparity. When we implement on the name of the right prospect, the spirituality into the education system, there is a big difference in terms of the education. Second, in terms of the politics system. Second, in terms of the sustainability, it will help for the sustainability, because sustainability it includes the many points. And the third thing for the peace in the nation, so it can be great, and the selection of right leaders in the society, it will also impact. And these are the 5 points that really making a big difference in the country. And when we compare the same things in the international level, all the countries, if all the countries adopt the same things, that means they closely separate the religious and the spirituality. And when they adopt it, there is, we can say, there will be a, they're reducing the geopolitical, the conflict between the two countries. We can say there is a, this thing can be reduced, and there is a discrimination between the religious and the cost. This can be also, it is going to reduce, and there will be a no war in the coming generation. It can also be help us to reduce, and there is a good balance in the future, because people life expectation may increase, because how they are connecting with the global level in terms of the peace and all. This all things can be seen, and in future generations we can see that there is a very bright future. Yeah.
Okay, well said. Soumya, your turn.
thank you. So I would like to point out few things which inculcating spirituality in our daily life could really help us as a society. First is that we'll have aware people. So awareness does not necessarily mean aware about what is going on in the news, what is happening in the world. That is definitely a part of it. But being aware of your surrounding as a whole and being sensitive towards it, having empathy towards people around you, not sympathy, it's empathy. Then we'll have leaders. We'll not have followers, but we'll be creating leaders rather than followers, and that could really help benefiting our entire race as a whole. So we will see if there will be a rise in spiritual growth, there will be a rise in the society in terms of your innovations, scientific innovations, spiritual innovations, emotional innovations. Every sphere of a human race will progress. Then we'll have more peaceful society also. since it will really help because then we will be more inclusive with all the people around us. So you can say that yes, being peaceful is largely related to being inclusive of the people or of the things or of the living beings around yourselves. Then since each so we are talking about living beings, so we definitely can't leave out our plants and plants, forest and other things. So we'll see a drastic improvement in our environmental aspects also. We are sensitive towards the living beings which are living in water. We'll be sensitive in wasting water. We'll be sensitive towards polluting water. We'll be sensitive towards polluting air. We'll be planting more trees because we know that our we are not existing individually, but we are depending. Our life depends on the plants around us, and we have seen this especially during this time that how much important is oxygen for us. So we are destroying the only source which is preparing oxygen, whether it is plants in our oceans or whether there are plants around us. So I think spirituality, inculcating spirituality in our daily basic life, or like bringing spirituality to the notice of our future generations, just inculcating in the basic instincts of them is will really help on improving all these points, and in general will help improving or uplifting the mankind as well. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. If the audience wants to ask the question, they can ask. Otherwise, we will move to the debate thing, because let us have some, uh, uh, you know, uh, entertainment for the viewers as well. It has been a demand of the viewers. Some of the thing that you are doing it on academically basis. Actually, yes, I do it on academic basis, but today we have the circumstances because audience is also not asking so much question. I don't want it to be a class. Now I'm leaving it to both of you, Nagesh and Soumya. You people are the contestants now. Now you ask your rival the questions, and do it for your win. Okay, take it as a debate. Go for the win now and ask whatever question you can related to the topic to each other. Yes, go for the competition now.
Okay. Yeah. If anyone wants to, so they can ask the question.
No, Nagesh and Soumya only. You two have to ask questions.
Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. There is a yes. Kuntik wants to share his views, and you can take your time. Okay. Yes. So Kuntik, you can unmute yourself and share your
Uh,
views.
Good afternoon, everyone. As I'm from Arunachal Pradesh, which is Northeast India, and as I was listening to both of the contestant point of views regarding the spirituality and difference between the spirituality and also the religion, I've came to my understanding, and I would like to share with all of you. Although I don't have any question, so, in my understanding, when we talk about the spirituality, it should be individual first, and because the theme itself of today, the topic was kind of confusing for me because it said that spirituality should be social, not individual. But in order to achieve or that spirituality in a society level, the person must have it within himself in the individual level. And only after that we can be able to portray it to the society. That's because we have to understand that in India, when we talk about spirituality, we get it through the religion only, because we have more details than the scientists itself in the NASA. It is because we only find the spirituality through the religion. So if we try to differentiate and separate the religion and the spirituality, it will create more confusing, because well, why we get into religion and why we take certain religion, it's only to get a spirituality. Because if I want to get rich, if I want to get money or in other things, I would have gotten a job and I would have applied for a job, and I would have worked harder in other perspective. But only to get a spirituality I get into a religion. That's the reason I adopt religion. So religion is the only way to achieve spirituality in India. Uh, look the if we look at the culture and whole social structure of our India itself. So I was saying they only as an Indian we believe in a certain religion, that only a certain religion and only a religion can be the reason, can be a way to achieve a spirituality. Because education can be one way to achieve a spirituality for individual, but I don't think that we are that advanced in a general. So if we talk about a general public, then I think that people understand that religion can be the only way to achieve a spirituality. So that's my understanding. It's not a question or debate. So that's it.
Okay, fine. So, as Kuntik is not the participant, we are not going to involve him in the debate. He wanted to convey his views, so he has conveyed it. Uh, had he been the participant, definitely I would have asked you to ask him the questions, cross questioning and all would have happened. Let us come back to our two contestants. Yes, Nagesh and Soumya, you must have thought about the questions. Go for the win now. Yes, ask questions from your rival.
So my first question, I guess I just want to validate that. So now, guys, basically, you are in against the statement that spirituality is individual, right? That's what you're supporting.
No, I am giving both a 50-50.
Okay, so I would like I truly 100% believe that spirituality is social and it cannot exist individually. So I would like you to like talk to you on that front. That on your 50, let's just try to figure out, and maybe it can help other people also to understand how does how we are separating out and how it is not individual. It's a social structure. So would you like
Yeah,
to
thanks for
push? Yeah.
thanks for asking this question. I really strongly agree with the question. So let's look into in a two ways. Why individual role is important, why society is important. If the people is not there, individual can't do anything. If individual, if idea is not there, and the society, there are things cannot be exist. The Newton is not there, still could have not understand the what is the gravitation power. If the Swami Vivekananda was not there, we could have not have this Ramakrishna mission. If the politics, uh, yeah, and there are the many people, they have spent their entire life for the some innovation. And why the spirituality is usually the spirituality is nothing but the person's perspective on his life. First of all, the person's perspective on his life and for the welfare, the well-being of the society. And how it is important. Person first of all has to go through the education. When person becomes the educator, he must have some urge to do something for the society. Then what he will do, he start doing the things basically what he wanted to achieve. Then he starts gaining the knowledge because he individually he cannot achieve anything. He has to take the support of one or the other people. Like let's take an example, like in the education system, he has to take a support of the teacher, and for the moral support he has to take the support from the family, and for the development of the society, if he wants to grow in the society for in terms of the capitalist, he has to take some money from the capitalist. But the idea is there, but that idea is origin from that particular person. That idea is not origin from the other people. That idea is origin from that particular person to grow that. Let's take an example of Sundar Bhagun. The Sundar Bhagun is a person, he has played a significant role to protect the trees. If the Sundar Bhagan was not there, what would be the situation? We could have not reached to protect that the particular area of the forest. We were not able to protect it. But Sundar Bhagan has initiated that concept, and he has traveled across the India. He has made them understand what is the importance of the forest, and they all together they have got success. This is one thing. saying let's go back to the Ramacharya, Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, and you live about this Ramacharya, Shankaracharya. Let's we'll go to the Ramayana. What is the Ramayana said? What is the Rama said? Rama, there is a monogamy. Like it's only a single wife, or whatever we call it. There is no polygamy in the Ramayana, but there is only the monogamy is there. So what is the advantage of the monogamy in terms of the health? Because when it comes to Ramayana, we are watching the Rama as a god. He is the god. We worship the Rama because he is the individual. Because he has giving a concept to the society in such a way that what he has led is giving a sense to the public, how he has to follow the principle in the life in terms of the wife, how he has to treat the wife, and how he has to treat the brother, and how he has to live the life. This is how he has given the things to the right. And when it comes to the Mahabharata, what Arjuna, we saw that Pandava and the Kaurava and Pandava, what Kaurava said, what Pandava said. Even we know that Kaurava, because of their egoism, because of their the lust on some all the perspective, all the dimensions, because of they fell into a down. Even the Pandavas, they came up with the new concept that is called, because see let's take an example of Krishna. Sri Krishna, he is the individual, but still there are a billion of people are following the Sri Krishna. Why they are following the Sri Krishna? Because the concept, what he has the concept and his ideology and his well-being for the society, and what he has tried to bring the changes in the society, these all things are matter a lot. And this is still we are living in the we are living in the post-modernizing society. Still there is even more than 70% of the world population still following the religious ways. I will give you why.
Let me just try to continue on those points regarding saying individual, how we are like taking example of an individual. And now, as we were talking about Lord Ram or Lord Krishna, then in that scope, let's just see that will Rama would have been the Rama we know if Ravan wouldn't be there, or if Sita wouldn't be there, or if Hanuman wouldn't be there, or if any of those characters were missing out of those equations. Would he be the Rama we know, the Lord Rama, if those his society or his the people over which he ruled would have been those people? So if you keep an individual, if you would have kept Krishna on an island where there would have been no individual, I don't think so you would have even known Krishna's name, right? He was known, or he was see, there is a very bright concept which says that and it's a scientific concept that you can see any color only when it reflects that color and it absorbs other colors. So you are seeing, so there are people, we are knowing those people, or we are knowing, so any individual's importance in a collective on earth is what they bring to the world. Okay, they they can be a fantastic human being individually and living in there, but spirituality, or spirituality we've already talked about that it's upliftment of the entire society, right? And you're talking about that comes from a single person, but you need to understand how did that single idea came. Maybe that's what they got from them, that's what they have been taught since childhood. You have to do all those things. Now there was something which told them, no, this is not right. So that can be a triggering factor as to, this is not right happening around me and I need to change it. But if those triggering factor wouldn't be there, that thought even might not have come. So what I'm trying to here tell is that any thought, that any idea that you're generating, anything which you're generating, even Newton had that idea because that tree was there and the apple fell from the tree. If Newton was sitting in empty space, he couldn't have that idea because that thing was even not existing. He had that idea. He was the person who had that idea, definitely. Like, because we've already talked about society is basically collection of people. So collection, like people are required. You cannot talk of individuals separate from the society. There are collection of individuals who are existing together, and that is leading to a society. So, so basically, any experiences that you have, any experiences that any individual have, and that is basically triggered by the people or by the surroundings around them. Kans was there. That's why Krishna had to go and kill him and benefit the humankind. And that's how there is a saying which says that if when there a problem arises, similarly a solution comes along with that. But solution is not important if the problem is not there. Okay, if I can just think and go to Europe in just a split of seconds, I wouldn't be needing aeroplanes. So aeroplanes importance is only there because there is a problem that I cannot just think and go to Europe. So I personally believe that for a cause and effect to happen, there are two things which are very important. So even the things around you are as important as what you are. So this way, I would like to say that Krishna, Rama, or any great saints, they are very important. They are what paved our entire knowledge, or we can say, of spirituality and other stuff. But those are all like the people whom they interacted, and we as an individual are also very important when we are talking about any individuals. So that's my take. Any cross question you have?
Yeah, that is, I agree, because the 50% is for the individual, 50% for the society. That's only I have already made to the point, because this is a very much important for the even social, only for inspiration, spirituality for the social. It only alone cannot be, because individual will play significantly here also, because it play for upliftment. See, we are living in such a generation. People are always taking a motivation the people to people. See, people are not taking the motivation, because if I want to become a UPSC aspirant, I have some motivation person who has given me motivation, lot of motivation. So because that person has made me motivation, because that person, as he has given sense to in a such a way that has came into my mind is a kind of the spirituality. That's why I am following these all the things. So this is how, because we are living in such a generation, because as you know that, because we take always inspiration one or the other person. This is how the individual role is play very significantly, and the thing, the heroism is still existent, and it will continue here on in upcoming generation also. Until unless heroism is there, the individual role play a very vital role in the society.
Okay, so let us come to the important part, because we are doing it. This series for the promotion of democracy. Now you have to relate this spirituality with democracy, and currently the kind of politics which is going on in our country. What do you think? How spirituality can help us in improving the politics, and uh, your suggestions? Okay, means if from the standards of spirituality, from the if we say we are a spiritual person, then ideally how should we behave in taking our political decisions, be as the leaders or be as the citizens? Yes, go ahead.
Um, okay, I will start. So, like as what the question says, that spirituality, we all agree that it's a very important part and can really benefit the society if it is being taught, if that idea is being taught to the whole mass as a whole. At least they are made aware, not taught, but they are made aware of that concept, and then they start exploring that ways of life. So, talking about it in politics, in our democracy, in the governance, uh, see, when you're talking about the society or current politics which is going on, as in, let's talk in two stages. First, as a citizen, if a citizen is spiritually aware about the surroundings, they will be empathetic towards every individual which is there in the society. So their decisions of voting a particular government will not only depend upon how it is benefiting only a particular section of the society, but how the government is overall doing. They will not be spirituality. I've already mentioned that it will create kind of awareness, and an individual will not be a follower rather than a leader. So then they have their own thinking mind. So they can take their own decisions by taking in the inputs. So it will not be what they've heard or listened, but what they've actually seen and experienced, and not them, but as around them, what all is going on, they'll be aware about it. So it will help them to take more informed decisions regarding who to vote. And I think if there are so many people, if we can educate or we can aware so many people, if such a large population exists in that zone where they're all very aware about what is going on, very empathetic towards each and every individual living in that society, I think that they will take a very informed decision, and they will choose certain government which can bring upliftment to the entire society, and in turn will bring upliftment towards the nation, and in turn bring the upliftment towards the whole human race. Then moving towards the what if you are a political leader, such individuals obviously they have a lot of power at hand, and you yourself can think, right? There was we have known that there were certain leaders who were very who were led by one single thought, or who cared only about certain section of the society, how they what they brought to the table, what they brought to the world, and there were certain people who were very caring about the entire people who were living under them. So it's basically they so the factor which I can think that spirituality will imbibe in each individual is empathy. So when that empathy comes, they'll themselves be taking. So empathy or being spiritual does not mean that they will leave all their work and go, but it will bring sensitiveness towards each living being existing in the society. They will be like sustainable growth. It will not only go for one particular section or one particular individual, it will be for everyone, and where everyone is benefiting, they'll bring, if you're talking about how they're going to, they'll bring up certain policies which they know that it will benefit. Now it's a very old saying that always choose the country over a section, a group over one particular person. So I think their decision will be in a certain way which will bring certain policies to the table which will benefit the society, and also they will look, if they are that aware, they will look that how it is executed. It's not only bringing things to the table, but it is also how it is being executed. So I think that would be really strict under them, and they can really help the governance as a whole. I think that's, and looking at such leaders, even every individual in our society will get inspired if we can bring such leaders at the forefront who are of that character. I think every individual can have something to look up to, rather than pointing fingers and uh, other stuff. So that is my take.
Yeah. Okay, Nagesh. So how spirituality?
Once again repeat it? Yeah.
Yes, I'm repeating. How spirituality will help us in improving our polity, and how spirituality will help us in strengthening of democracy.
Okay, yeah, thanks for asking the question. Yeah, the spirituality, it is really going to help to in improving the democracy, because when we adopt it in the ground level, because as you know that the country like India, for the more than 60% of the population is still lives in the village level, and 40% of the population still lives in the urban level. So when it comes to the people, those are living in the rural area, it has to improve from the the panchayat level. How it can be improved from the panchayat level? Who's their leader? So because the people who is following, let's take an example of present what is happening in the India. The people, majority of the people are following the rightist, and majority of people are following the leftist. This is how, because the people, those who have already made their personality in the society, we have to make them understand. So what is their impact on the society if they follow the spirituality in a right manner to improve the democracy. So if we approach these people can motivate the people in a different prospects. They can motivate the people. So let's take an example of in Karnataka. There are many of the associations, they have worked ground level to improving uh, the the homosexual people, because there is no institute in the homosexual people. This in the part of like there is like Prerna. Yeah, Prerna on the name of, there is a homosexual. She is a lady, and she was that actually homosexual people. These are deprived from the society, but there is she has came up with the help of one of the Chakravarti Sulebele. He is a very role model in the Karnataka. He has helped her to improving her in the right manner. And now she is the MLC in Karnataka. And this is how the democracy is giving benefits to in a right manner. So the spirituality, it has to reach to the people on the basis of their followers. First thing. Second, it can be reached through the education. And third, it can be reached through the digital media, which is playing a very vital role in the present generation, because in future also it is going to play a very certain role, because there is some new terms and conditions has to implement in this the digital media. It has to remove those who are misleading the society on the basis of the communal, on the basis of misguiding the young generation on the basis of just the flex culture, I can say. The flex culture is really making us demoralizing our democracy, I can say. And the fourth one is the member of the family, they also have to understand what is the concept of the spirituality. And the religious leaders, those who are there in the top position, they have to come together and they have to share the hands together. And this is on this model, it can be improved. And then once if we adopt it, and surely we will have a very bright democracy.
Okay, very well said. So, as we don't have the audience today, there is no point in taking the voting, but I would like both of you, I want to congratulate both you for, speaking out on such a complicated topic, which is complicated for so many people. However, it is not complicated at all. So many great people like Swami Vivekananda has simplified it. He has said, Nar Seva, Narayan Seva, service to mankind is service to God. So many people have given this same message. Ultimately, it is about, means you want to create connection with the God, but why are you forgetting people around you? And in this context, means the polity becomes very important. Do you think, means again, I would like to ask a question, which we have some time. Do you think that this is a very subtle deviation which is happening? Some people are trying to take the charge, being the intermediaries, and in fact, they just want people to do focus upon something random without something abstract, okay, without even telling them what is the purpose for doing it, how can you implement that knowledge, that lessons from whatever form of God you are believing in it. So you are not building relationships between the human beings by ignoring this aspect of spirituality, and rather than asking people just to recite, chant the bhajan and whatever, everything and all. I'm not saying they are wrong, but the moment this aspect of looking at the human beings is gone, then this creates a problem for a society. Yes, what is your take on this?
This is, we have to look into the ground level for why this is happening. Okay. So first, basically, where we have failed to build a right the people democracy, where we have failed, because every country has its own constitution, every country it has its own political agenda, because where the people are really following, because there are some countries, a few countries, they have following the democracy, and some other countries are following the monotheism. Other countries, they are following both, because when it comes to their internal matter, when it comes to the country level, what the people are taking the agenda for the election, what they are coming up with the agenda, and how the people movement is there in there in the country. This is, we have to understand, because when they look into the India, why these all things are happening is basically everyone knows that there is a communalism is playing a huge role, and second is the lack of education to the people. This is the second major problem in the India. And third is the poverty is a major problem. If in India still it is happening, the person who is giving the money, people are still giving the vote to that person only. And these are the major and fundamental problems. These are really making a barrier for this. And these all things has to remove. Then only things can be possible. Or else in every country, today, just say today we have the right and left party in India. So might be in tomorrow there is other party also may come into the force, and they will also have some other agenda.
Yeah, please finish it. Yes, Soumya. Your take in 2 minutes. Yes, maximum 2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. So, just summarizing my entire conversation from previously, that spirituality, till the time spirituality or religion or any interpretation is, if you are listening to the other person's version, they will tell you their own version, and that is nothing wrong in that, I think, because even I will speak from my own perspective, and anyone will speak from their own experiences and perspectives. So I think it's very important that the governance, if they're taking that charge into, and they really want to create leaders and not followers, that they need to start imbibing and ask people to look within themselves. What do they think? And empowering their thought and their right to think and their right to speak up what they think of it, because every individual's thought and understanding of this, what scripture or what a chant says, will be a different thing. I can hear a bhajan and I can feel a different emotion. A different person feels different emotions based on what experiences they are going or what understanding they have of life. So I think what a government here can do, how can this be changed? And yes, there is a distraction from what we should be following. There is a distance, because we have given that power to someone else. We have given that power of our understanding to someone else. We are every time asking questions from someone else. What is the problem within me? If the problem is within me, the solution will also be within me. That is what spirituality teaches, and that is what, if government wants to empower the individuals, they should start imbibing that from learning basis. I think that should start from the basics, and that's how that this problem can be solved. And yes, you're right, this is a problem, but there is also the solution, that you need to look within. Every individual need to look within, and they need to be taught, because some individuals might not have that kind of awareness to actually look within and come up with actually the right solutions that can be certain. So I think their legal or rules comes into play. Maybe you have a free will to exercise, but these are the rules of the society, and you need to be within those rules. You cannot, if you feel like, you cannot go and hit another person, because that is not legal. So that is the two things, that there should be strict rules, what government should make, and also apart from that, they should empower an individual's freedom to thought and expression. That's my take.
Yep. Very well said. There are so many things I can comment upon both of you, but because of the paucity of time, I would just like to say, Nagesh, the way you started, your explanation was very convenient for a layman, because you divided spirituality into individual spirituality and social spirituality. That way, the viewers were at ease with the understanding of this concept of spirituality. And regarding Somya, you are taking it to the level of leadership, and what is the ultimate aim of spirituality. And with your speech and all, it was visible. That feeling is there, that the intention means the objective of spirituality or the democracy is to create the leaders. We should not be followers. And you have made a very right point of distinguishing between the the original. There were some original people, the enlightened beings, who started the movement, but then there are followers, and then people are actually following the followers, not the values set by the original enlightened person. This is a very big problem for the society, and there are so many things which I can comment upon. So I would like to thank both of you for sharing your views. You both are the winners for today, because see, I'm not taking the voting. Voting is just a part of, we are doing a democratic exercise here. Why do we do this voting and all? We are trying to present a solution. My kind of, it is means two round things, bringing in the debate thing, what kind of improvements we can make in our political setup. It's okay, voting could not take place today, but the views which you have shared, I hope it will be very helpful to the people who would be listening to your views, how to implement, how to understand spirituality, how to implement it in your life, and for your upliftment, and how to be the change agent with the help of a right understanding of spirituality. Thank you very much, both of you. Thank you, all the viewers, all the audience, for being part of this event. See you in our next edition of FTNI Debate.